Food banks are preparing for an increase in demand ahead of the November 1st deadline for the U.S. government's funding of SNAP, leaving the nearly 800,000 Virginians who rely on the program to eat without it.
Governor Youngkin announcing that the state will be covering that cost and giving $1 million to help those regional food banks. Avery Davis is live in the newsroom with what that plan will look like. It's our top story at 6.
Yeah, that's right, Stephen Aaron. For the first time ever, this government shutdown has the U.S. Department of Agriculture halting SNAP. In the final 3 days before that happens, food banks and state leaders are getting creative to make sure Virginians in need still have food.
We've been preparing for these sorts of things for a long time. That is what food banks do. We are here in cases of emergency, and this happens to be one.
Food banks are preparing to step in. The federal funding for SNAP runs out November 1st, and for the 2-day gap in funding before Virginia's new emergency plan kicks in.
That uncertainty is really what's weighing in on a lot of people's minds.
Les Sinclair is with the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank. They're expecting a surge.
We want to provide some certainty at the Blue Ridge Area Food Bank.
Eddie Oliver is Virginia Food Bank's executive director. He's thinking about the 850,000 Virginians who rely on SNAP money to buy groceries.
Virginia has had to get creative about how these families continue to get the nutrition they need. And we really applaud Governor Youngkin and his team for taking the steps they have to allocate state money to ensure families keep getting these benefits.
Governor Glenn Youngkin's plan would fund a SNAP-adjacent program called VINA. Benefits would be paid weekly to Virginians who are already on the SNAP list, as opposed to monthly for the federal program, and start November 3rd.
We're in a bit of a disaster response even before we were worried about SNAP getting cut off in November. Losing SNAP is a whole other ballgame.
The Blue Ridge Area Food Bank, he says, will get $185,000 from the state to help offset the added cost of higher demand for families with children.
We have a little bit more confidence that we're going to be able to meet the additional demand that we're seeing in our pantries.
State Senator Creigh Deeds, a Democrat, applauds Youngkin's creative solution, but says it cannot be permanent.
We're going to do what we can to keep people fed. It's going to cause our budget to be strained.
Sinclair says it is vital for the food banking network that the Senate comes to a shutdown ending agreement soon. SNAP outserves food pantries 9-1, and he says the emergency food network is not a permanent replacement for SNAP. Live in the newsroom, Avery Davis, 29 News at 6.